what is the best solution for Kenya? Do we have one person from this side who can come and help us? Because for us, you feel we have done wrong. We need one person from this side. That is why I said, when we come here, we are not coming to play the game. We are coming to be objective for Kenya.
Okay.
And if you love this country, you must think through properly. For me, my senior counsel and his team of lawyers will not tell me anything because they are part of the problem.
In what way?
Big problem.
In what way?
Because all these things, tomorrow, if I take senior with my political party in court, he will defend me. He will not say it's going to mess Kenya. No, he will defend me. He will walk in with me as a murderer and remove me.
No.
So let us not come here and make it at the political class. It is every...
You saying we are all
Wait
messed up?
first. Yes, that's why I'm coming. Because if every Kenyan would agree there is a problem, and we first start by changing our attitude, mindset on how we look at things, Kenya will move to become, there are two parties. This thinks conservatives, this one thinks liberal, and I have told you, when you look through how they behave, the behavior of those political parties, you will see who are the capitalists and who are the... You will see.
All right.
In the money. So political parties running away. Yesterday, I met the Gen Zs, let me tell you, and I want to ask the DCI, Wanjiko of DCP, whatever she did cannot be a terrorist and cannot be a murderer. So they must deal with that case and leave this young girl, because they were young, doing whatever they were doing. But having said that, a girl called Lena, 24 years old, told me the systems of government that we have is what they feel they need to disrupt.
Exactly.
But then, another among them, students said, Wanja said, the disruption of the system cannot just be a way of disrupting the country. And so you must disrupt, but reorganize the country. And so I asked them, and they were better because at least they have solutions. They say, we believe in the government. And I told them the government is not the president. That's why you see Trump disrupting completely, because he knows him as a president, without disrupting the institutional system that runs a country, he can't move. And when he's disrupting, that's why they are going down. Because we will come here, lie to Kenyans, say this. But a government is not just a president. A president cannot be the one who will be doing the tender paper that me and council and everyone will be running for. I've always said, if you don't like a government, please don't also tender in that government.
Let's note that this conversation is not just criticizing the administration of the day. It is the entire political class and the kind of direction that you've taken.
Now I'm going back to the electorate, because you blame the politicians, but in the end, all of us Kenyans are given an opportunity to go and vote for the right person, because that is the time you decide who. And so if they elect Elachi, or elect my council, or elect whoever, or Lagat, do you come? They had an idea. So for me, anyone who has a better idea than what we have now, please put yourself there and go talk to the electorate.
One of the ideas even suggested by the president is that he is keen on taking Kenya from a third world country to first world country. If you look at the examples of first world countries and the structures of politics and the political hygiene that they have, it's a stark difference. Yet listening to you, Bwana Lagat, you seem very comfortable in this mess we are in, and the fact that we cannot move forward. After all, this is Kenya, this is how we live. Do you think you are contributing in any way towards taking us to the first world status?
I didn't say that we are not moving anywhere. Of course we are changing. And as Elachi had said, you see, we are still a young nation. And my brother here, Wakili Kinyanjui, wants to bring US to Kenya. Kenya is like a bicycle. US is like a chopper. So it's like now trying to buy spare parts of an aeroplane to fix a bicycle. It cannot work. You see, in the business, you have to do SWOT analysis. And I think our wakili knows what SWOT analysis is. You look at where you want to invest. It is not US. It is Kenya. You get? It is Kenya whereby if you go to...
And the more you say it, the more it sounds very interesting.
May I say, if you go, you know, I would like, because wakili is talking a lot. But I just want him to do a practical. You know, sometimes you practice, what you do in theory, you also put it in practice. I want him to form a political party with all aspirations of what he has said and sell it to Kenyans. I dare say, if you get beyond 100,000 votes, I will give you a pool.
Okay.
Because I know...
He'll be back to the same sort of parties.
you won't end up... You see, those theories of yours will not end up anywhere. I can tell you... May I finish? May I finish? For example, let's pick a very good example. Let's pick the Rift Valley, for example, where predominantly are Kalenjins. And you pick Nyanza, where predominantly are Luos. If you go to Nyanza, and they have even stated, if Raila say left, left. If Raila say right, right. Okay? If you come to Rift Valley, where predominantly the Kalenjin, because Rift Valley is a cosmopolitan. If the president say left, we go left. If the president say right, we go right. Now, what that means is that if you are running a country, you have to understand you have a political party that you need to onboard the people of Nyanza. How do you onboard the people of Nyanza?
Purely based on their location.
The people of Nyanza by talking to their leader and bringing them on board. You will onboard the people of Rift Valley by talking to their leader and bringing on board. You onboard the people. That's why we are busy looking for Kalonzo Musyoka, so that we can onboard the Lower Eastern. You know, that is the society we are. And what we are saying, in that society that we are doing baby steps. Maybe come another 50 years, we shall have now the liberals and the conservative. But for now, if you try going the wakili way, so let us understand the kind of nation that we are.
Okay.
And we support the president on what he's able to do.
Yet the president wants to move us to the first world status. How will that happen?
May I finish? In the process, the current political environment has not stopped the president from doing his agenda on housing. Everybody we bring on board will support housing. On supporting the healthcare system, all of them are supporting the healthcare system.
Across board.
On supporting the subsidizing production instead of consumer.
DCP have said they will get away with.
No, don't worry. I'm saying, may I finish? All the people we are bringing on board, the first thing is they support the president's and the Kenya Kwanza agenda.
All right.
So we are, in terms of progressing the nation, we are progressing. Don't worry about
on this, Wakili and Bwana Loteso.
Don't worry about the music.
Okay.
But the objective is still we are moving Kenya forward. In case after 50 years, the mentality will change to Wakili Kinyanjui, well and good. But for now,
Wakili, you're 50 years ahead.
You do SWOT analysis and you are in Kenya and implement what Kenya wants. Right. But if you think that you are clever enough to execute that, do your theoretical and go to practical, and we see the results.
Wakili, final word on this.
Let me say this. If I was the president, if I had the opportunity then to marshal all the resources, I would want you to be rich. I would want him to succeed. The mechanic down there in Kirinyaga Road, who has never gone to school to study about these dynamics or the changed mechanics, I would give him or her the opportunity to excel in that. I would create the environment. So the Kenyan people are asking, create the environment for me. Nobody wants to go and occupy your state house and sleep on that bed unless, of course, they have their ego bloated as it is, so as to satisfy that. The Kenyan person who is in manufacturing wants the taxes and the environment created in a manner they can produce. And if you are rich as a manufacturer and I create that environment for you, you will want to expand your business. I would want to encourage you to go to Ethiopia so that then you manufacture there. That money that you derive from there will come back to this country. And who will you take to Ethiopia as your manager? A Kenyan. So I'm exporting work and I'm importing the revenue generated from there. And if a larger proportion of the Kenyan people then were rich, the same way you have foreign investors, you know, who will have to be European or from out there. I mean, I would want to make the Kenyan person the investor of Africa, to go into the mining in Congo, to go into the production of timber in Gabon. What do we have today? We have these, shady concepts. The playbook of the World Economic Forum of, climate change and mitigation, and some concept of sequestration of land. What do you mean sequestration of land? Sequestration of land is neo-colonialism. You're telling me as an African, don't use that land of yours. Here is some return of some money. And you know what? You got to pay me the debt that you owe me. So the money just is brought there, but they lock your land, and then they tell you, oh, you need to pay me my debt, using the same money. So that's a brainwashed idea that you have. So I'm saying, and I would want to correct the notion by Honorable Elachi, when she says that the president is just merely leading the state and the institutions are under individual people. But who elects those PSs? Selects those PSs. Who puts them into power so that then they are able to articulate those the policies in that particular institution? It is them. So what I'm saying is that the presidency is not so-called gathering and getting the peace of the people. Let's accept that we have failed in our notion, concept, and understanding and precision of what we call democracy. That the political party is no longer articulating democratic ideals or whatever it is. It's just a vehicle for the seizure of power. And once they get into power, they forget they who elected them on the policies that they sold to the people. And that the Kenyan people are deprived under the Political Parties Act. If you read Section 6, it says that you have the right as the member of the political party then articulate the policies you want, that your political party then to articulate and take forth, which is why I was asking. Did the Kano members actually sit down with Honorable Gideon Moy and tell him, we want you to work with UDA, we want you to step down?
Okay, no wonder you're being told you're 50 years ahead.
Lastly, let me close by this, with respect, that the Kenyan people that want change is a larger volume than the 100, 200,000 that Mheshimiwa is speaking about. The volume is ballooning by the day because Kenyans are getting fed up by the day and they want to shed off the political class and the notions that they should elect a person merely because, and he's saying that he is a leader of that region. Because out of that region, the Luo people, for instance, and I have tremendous respect for our tribes. I mean, they have a divine offshoot in the Tower of Babel, and we should respect that. The Kikuyu, the Luo, the Kalenjin, I would make them thrive. I want the Luo to thrive within the context of him being or she being a Luo, but within the larger context, knowing and recognizing that he, as a Luo, is part of the larger Kenyan nation, so that he produces what it is unique about the Luo, or the Kikuyu, or the Digo, such that then we have a cohesive nation. And I tell them, I want you to express your culture, but enrich us, but don't divide us.
Very final word on this, Bwana Lote. We need to discuss another issue here that's also burning.
Well, I think what we have discussed is the good for Kenya, because we're trying to look at what is this that is good for Kenya. And I think it is time for Kenyans to rise up and be able to help the leaders, not to antagonize the leaders to deliver. Because what we've seen in this country all through is that the leadership is always antagonized. So that when the leadership comes on board, instead of Kenyans helping the leader to deliver, because at the end of it all, as per the Article 1, we are only representing. The president is representing Kenyans. We are representing our constituents. The governor is representing. So all of us are only representative of the people. But if you actually then go into a seat, and then the people that are supposed to help you to deliver, the people that are supposed to help you to govern, are actually antagonizing. So they come and everything they say about you is negative. Everything they say about you is to antagonize. Everything they do is to try to bring you down. We will go down as a nation where the leadership will not go down alone. And the reason why I'm saying the debate is very healthy, but at the end of it all, we need to call on to Kenyans to support. And there are many avenues of supporting. When we actually call for public participations in many of the policies that are coming, no Kenyans, they don't come. They don't come to those halls. You actually go to a hall and you find that it is you and yourself. But then when the bill is passed, when the act is finally enacted, Kenyans are complaining. They are very fast ones to complain, oh, this is a bad policy, oh, this is a bad practice. But when they are asked, and the Constitution is clear, given everybody the opportunity for the state building. So I ask Kenyans to state build instead of just pouring hot water on the leaders all the time.
All right. We continue sampling some of your views on this discussion. In fact, I think it's just been dubbed Hustler versus Dynasty. Who's bad? Who's the good one now? We're still not confused, because in 2022, they were the bad ones and they were the good people. Now it would appear the bad ones are the good ones now, and they're the ones making the decisions. So many lies have been added to the nonsense of hustlers, Paul Jr. says. Murugi Gitonga says, honestly, not much has changed for the ordinary Kenyan. The Hustlers versus Dynasties narrative gave hope to many, but in reality, it still feels like the same political class calling the shots, just under a different slogan. I think you got it right, Murugi Gitonga. Mwalimu Basiro says the problem is there is a lot of propaganda that citizens don't differentiate between that and facts. Biwot Hillary says the hustler narrative has brought change to the hustlers and the economy at large. NHIF that used to deduct a maximum of 1,700 shillings is now changed to pay as you earn. The unga prices are now favorable. Fuel prices, exchange rate, affordable housing, just to mention a few. Well, the conversation continues online, and as far as that is concerned, the question is there on Facebook. Debate on whether hustlers and Dynasties. Who's a bad one now? Patrick Kariuki. We are focused on Vision 2055, done with Vision 2030. Are we done? Okay. This guy is the greatest scam I have ever seen since I started to be familiar with political leaders. Which guy are you talking about, Patrick Kariuki? You've not mentioned him or her in your response.
He's scam, S-C-U, scam, dirt.
Yes.
Not S-C-A-M.
He's used C-U-M.
Scam,
yes.
dirt. I mean,
which is, okay, fine. Probably he meant the other one, C-A-M. Anyway, I want us to move to a different conversation altogether because of time. Dynasties versus hustlers. I think I'm still confused. Who's a bad one, by the way? And who's a good one?
By the way, why are we in that topic? For me, I don't talk about that topic because I said it is wrong to call people those names.
All right.
And I'll repeat it today. I have no business talking about that topic of calling people.
We spent
I don't know.
A whole hour talking about them anyway.
Yes, we talk about that, but don't give us this. I said in the Bible, there's nothing called a hustler.
All right.
It is wrong.
Madam Elachi,
that one, I didn't like it. Even in 2022, I still say it today.
Yes.
We are all children of God. He knows my destiny and where you are headed. He knows your destiny, where you are headed.
Right.
So that is how it is. And by the way, I don't know why Kenya, we like bringing so many things. There is one book we just need to look in. In that book of the Bible, everything that you see today in Dimuli was there. It is there.
Which book is that?
The Bible. Which other book do we normally read in the morning?
Madam Elachi,
the Bible.
Allow me to direct you to this conversation because
and so that is why
close to your heart.
I will tell you.
Yes.
Page 6. As you tell me what I'm supposed to say.
Page 6 of the Daily Nation. Mixed reactions after Ruto offers support for Nairobi. I want us to talk about that.
Well,